Hey, this is Caleb with the Wallowa Avalanche Center. It is Thursday, April 10th, about 11:20 in the morning. I'm up here in the Blues at Spout Springs at an elevation of 5,300 feet on an east aspect, backside of Spout Springs here. At this location, we've got about 195 centimeters of snow, which would equal just over 6 feet of snow. And we've got a pretty saturated snowpack here. So all the warm weather and sun has taken its toll on the snowpack. It's melted the snow and it's begun to, actually this has been happening for quite some time. The meltwater has been trickling down through the snowpack until it hits a crust, and then it pools on this crust, and then eventually it'll start making its way through. And so at this point, I'm finding slushy snow, so totally saturated snow, about 2.5 feet down, all the way down to here. I did do an extended column test in this location, so 90 centimeters across, 30 centimeters back, gave it some taps, and I got full propagation just below this melt freeze crust, this saturated melt freeze crust right here. So on the 15th tap, 5 taps from the elbow, this propagated all the way across. So this is the big distinction between wet loose avalanches and wet slab avalanches. A wet slab avalanche, in a test like this, you'd likely get propagating results just as we just did. And with wet loose avalanches, more likely than not, it's just the upper 6 to 8 inches of snow. Sometimes it's running on a crust, but all of this snow has just lost cohesion. You can hardly make a snowball out of it. It just falls apart. And oftentimes has quite a bit of moisture content, some water, free water in it. So when we think about wet slab avalanches, the consequences of those avalanches definitely go up. Likelihood is pretty low in terms of terrain that you could find in the Blues that you'd want to be in that would produce this, but we still have wet slabs listed on the forecast for the Blues, and I would just back off any steep terrain that has dire consequences until things lock back up. We're supposed to get cooling temperatures later today into this evening as a cold front passes through, and that'll help stabilize things further. If you're out traveling in the mountains, I would suggest that you take a few moments to dig down before committing to steep slopes to see how much moisture has trickled down through the snowpack, and if it's getting hung up on crusts like this, or if it's able to drain lower down into the snowpack. If you get out in the mountains, make sure to submit an observation to the Wallowa Avalanche Center. You can get the whole picture at www.wallowaavalanchecenter.org. Thanks and have a great day.